what you pointed out, and I think this is real, and it's the real difference between men and women at our core, the women will be very jealous. And that, I think, is going to be a monster problem.
A rising WNBA star just got caught using steroids. You won't believe who it is and how it's going to shake up the league. DiJonai Carrington, the player known for her aggressive play and that eye poke attempt on Caitlin Clark? Yeah, she's been suspended. This is huge, and it's going to change everything. Let's talk about Carrington for a second. She was becoming a real star in the WNBA, averaging 12.1 points and 5.3 rebounds per game. That's impressive stuff. She was on fire, making waves, and seemed unstoppable. But now, it's all come crashing down. The WNBA dropped the hammer. Steroids. Can you believe it? This isn't just some minor thing. It's a big deal in women's basketball.
This is inexcusable, and DiJonai Carrington needs to be suspended for games.
The league's integrity is on the line. Players, fans, everyone's shocked. But you know what's crazier? This isn't the first time Carrington's been in hot water. Remember that thing with Caitlin Clark? Oh boy, we're just getting started. You won't believe what else she's done. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Carrington's on-court behavior has been raising eyebrows long before this steroid scandal broke. Remember that eye poke incident with Caitlin Clark? Turns out it wasn't an isolated event. How far does her aggressive play really go? Let's talk about Carrington's style on the court. She's not just known for her scoring, she's infamous for her aggressive play.
Caitlin Clark's trying to pass the ball in the first 2 minutes of the game, and this woman swats at the basketball and somehow decides to turn her hand down and her fingernails and jab him right into the eye.
We're talking about a player who averages 3.5 fouls per game. That's way above the league average of 2.1. It's like she's playing a different sport out there. But here's where things get wild. People are starting to throw around terms like roid rage. Yeah, you heard that right. Some fans are wondering if Carrington's steroid use might be fueling her over-the-top aggression on the court. It's a serious accusation, and it's got everyone talking. The reaction from fans and other players? It's not pretty. We're seeing outrage left and right. People are saying Carrington isn't just damaging her own reputation, she's making a mockery of the entire sport. One comment that really stuck out said, "She's not just a disgrace to the league, she's a warning sign." Ouch. This isn't just about one player anymore. It's about the integrity of the whole WNBA. Carrington went from being seen as a rising star to being labeled as a dirty player. That's a massive fall from grace, and it's happening fast.
One of the things that I brought up this morning in talking about Caitlin Clark is that some of the players, you want to use the word jealousy, fine.
You know what's really got people talking? The idea that maybe, just maybe, all this aggressive behavior is covering up for something else. Some are saying it might be insecurity about her actual talent. One fan put it bluntly, "If you need to cheat just to play your dirty little game, then you've got zero business being in this league." It's crazy how quickly things can change in sports. 1 minute, you're the next big thing. The next, you're at the center of a scandal that's rocking the entire league. Carrington's story is turning into a cautionary tale about the dangers of pushing too far, both on and off the court. Now here's where things get really interesting. We've all seen Carrington's aggressive play, but have you noticed how inconsistent her performance actually is? One game she's on fire, the next she's ice cold. Could there be a chemical explanation for these wild swings? Let's break down Carrington's performance. Sure, she's averaging 12.1 points and 5.3 rebounds per game, but those numbers don't tell the whole story. Her scoring is all over the place, jumping up and down like a yo-yo. One night she's dropping 20 points, the next she's barely scraping by with 5. That's not just having an off night. That's a pattern. Think about it. Why would a player's performance change so drastically from game to game? Sure, everyone has their ups and downs, but this is extreme. It's like watching two different players wearing the same jersey. Could steroids be behind this Jekyll and Hyde act on the court? Here's where it gets even crazier. Remember all those aggressive plays we talked about earlier? Well, one fan hit the nail on the head. They said, "Now we know why she was so eager to be physical on the court. All that aggression wasn't just her trying to make a name for herself. It was probably the roid rage talk. Ouch. That's a serious accusation, but it makes you wonder, doesn't it? But it's not just about Carrington anymore. This whole mess is affecting her teammates, the league, and the fans who looked up to her. Imagine being her teammate, never knowing which version of Carrington is going to show up on game day. Or being a fan who bought her jersey thinking she was the real deal. Now they're left wondering how much of her talent was actually just drugs. This scandal is forcing everyone to take a hard look at Carrington's past performances. How much of what we saw was real? How much was artificially enhanced? It's like finding out your favorite movie was all CGI. It just doesn't feel the same anymore. You know what's really mind-blowing? This whole situation is making people question everything they thought they knew about talent in sports. One commentator put it perfectly. The steroid scandal has led to a reevaluation of Carrington's past performances, with questions raised about how much of her perceived talent was artificially enhanced. It's a wake-up call for everyone in the sports world, but the wake-up call is just the beginning. What's next for Carrington? And how will this scandal reshape the WNBA? The aftermath of this bombshell might be even more shocking than the revelation itself. Carrington's future in the WNBA? It's hanging by a thread. This suspension isn't just a slap on the wrist, it's a career-altering moment. Her reputation? Shattered. Her teammates? They're left picking up the pieces. Imagine being in their shoes, never knowing if your star player was relying on talent or chemicals. And it's not just about Carrington anymore. This whole mess is forcing the WNBA to take a hard look in the mirror. The league's integrity is on the line. Fans are questioning everything. Players are demanding answers. It's like the whole foundation of women's basketball is shaking. You know what's really got people talking? The possibility of stricter testing. Some are saying this could be the wake-up call the league needed. One fan put it bluntly, "This steroid scandal is just the cherry on top of a long list of trashy behavior the WNBA has been struggling to maintain its integrity." Ouch. But they've got a point. Think about it. If one star player could get away with it for so long, who else might be cheating the system? It's a scary thought, right? The WNBA might have to crack down hard to regain trust. We're talking more frequent tests, harsher penalties, maybe even lifetime bans for repeat offenders. This could change the game forever. But here's where it gets really interesting. This scandal? It might just be the turning point the WNBA needs. It's forcing everyone to talk about integrity in sports. It's not just about winning anymore. It's about how you win. Are you doing it the right way, or are you taking shortcuts? Carrington's legacy is toast. Instead of being remembered as a rising star, she's now the face of cheating in women's basketball. One comment really nailed. Now she's caught, and instead of the crowd cheering for her big plays, they're booing her off the stage. How's that for karma? It's a brutal fall from grace, but it's sending a powerful message. This whole situation is bigger than just one player or one team. It's about the future of the WNBA. Will they use this as a chance to clean house and set a new standard? Or will they try to sweep it under the rug and hope everyone forget? The way they handle this could make or break the league's reputation. So what have we learned from this Carrington mess? It's not just about one player using steroids. This whole thing is a wake-up call for the WNBA and sports everywhere. Cheating might seem like a shortcut to success, but it always ends badly. Think about it. Carrington went from rising star to suspended player in no time. That's a crazy fall from grace. And it's not just her career that's hurting. The whole league's reputation is on the line. Here's the thing. True champions aren't made with steroids. They're made with hard work, talent, and integrity. Carrington's story shows us why we need good role models in sports. Athletes who play fair and set a good example. What do you think about all this? Are you for stricter testing in sports? Let's keep talking about it and support clean competition. Remember, real success comes from hard work, not shortcuts.